Hello, I'm Anthony Hughes, and I'm very pleased to announce the availability of Dorico 6.1. This update, which is free to all owners of Dorico 6, brings some great enhancements to features, a load of improvements and fixes, and even a brand new piano sound library, Etude Elements. Let's take a look. Etude Elements is sampled from the Yamaha C3X and provides a beautiful, expressive grand piano instrument, a significant improvement over the Yamaha S90 that's been used in previous versions of Dorico. It comes as standard with Dorico Pro and Dorico Elements. Etude Elements is based on Steinberg's full Etude library, and there are several presets to choose from, ensuring you can find the perfect sound to complement your project. Check out my walkthrough video linked here, but not until you've watched the rest of this one. Big news for everyone who works with our condensing feature. It's now possible to edit the vertical position of rests on condensed staves. You do this in engrave mode. Select the rest or rests you wish to move, open the lower zone properties panel, and activate the rest position property. The new proofreading feature introduced in Dorico 6 has been a huge hit, and we are thrilled with your reaction to it. As I mentioned when we announced it, the initial release of proofreading was just the beginning, and I'm pleased to be able to say that we've already extended its capabilities. Dorico now checks for invalid or ambiguous repeat structures, warning you about duplicate markers, bars that will never be played because the repeat structure means they're skipped over, and things like coders without a marking to show when to jump to it. Repeat structures can quickly become complicated, so this is a huge bonus to know that Dorico is helping to ensure that they are always logical and playable. Dorico also now reports on notes that are outside the playable or comfortable range for each instrument. You'll likely be used to seeing these notes coloured red in the score, and it's useful to have them flagged up by proofreading so you can be sure to review them all. Dorico will also warn you about notes for instruments that require certain modifications, such as a flute foot key and a trombone F attachment. Notes for harp that can't be played with the current pedal settings, and will even warn you about possible problems with trills. Those of you who work with chord diagrams are already used to being able to define your own shapes to be used for certain chords. However, you might wish for certain shapes never to be considered by Dorico. We've now introduced the option to prevent Dorico from matching a chord shape altogether, or to match all or just some of the notes. If you do choose not to match a particular chord shape, you can then hide it from the list with the filter button. And you can export the chord shapes from your project so you can import them into other projects. Pedal lines now align across the width of the system, controlled by way of an engraving option, and switched on by default for new projects. We've started making some improvements to harmonics. For example, the node property is now, correctly, available only for artificial harmonics and offers only valid nodes. And harp harmonics now playback correctly. There's a new engraving option that restricts the minimum lengths of ties at the start of systems, which prevents them from getting too short and squished. The option is set to 0 for existing projects, so as not to change your previous work. When there's a change of time or key signature at coincident repeat bar lines, you can now choose to place these to the right of the bar line rather than in between. There are 3 design options for the staccatissimo articulation set in engraving options, but now you can choose a specific design for individual notes with a property. There are new commands to help select bar numbers, This can be useful in busy areas of music where other items can overlap the bar number, making it difficult to select with the mouse. For guitar notation, there are new options for how to represent tied notes on tab staves, and an alternative appearance for vibrato bar scoops. You can now use character styles within the project info dialog. Enclose the desired text within this special pair of tokens. This can be useful when using, for example, the open type features of a particular font. Quotation marks in all text items will now be converted to smart quotes, managed again by an engraving option with a choice of English, German, or French designs. Text frames, lyrics, and staff labels have always done this, but now we have introduced the option to control it for other types of text item. A great quality of life improvement. If you now connect or disconnect an audio device while Dorico is running, the list of available devices will update, so you can switch to a newly connected device without the need to restart Dorico. And there's a new file revert command that lets you dispose of any changes you've made to a project since you last opened it. With the addition of Etude elements, the number of sound libraries included with Dorico continues to grow. In order to use those sound libraries by default as you add instruments to your projects, you need to ensure you are using the correct playback template. We've simplified this process by introducing a new automatic playback template, which takes care of this for you. And if new libraries are included with Dorico in the future, the playback template will silently update in the background, so the new sounds are available and ready for you to use automatically. If you currently use one of Dorico's factory playback templates as your default, when you first run Dorico 6.1, you'll be given the option to switch to this new automatic playback template. I suggest you do. If you use another type of playback template, say, for example, Note Performer or another third-party sound library, you won't be prompted, though you can always change this yourself in Preferences on the Play page. We won't change the playback template for existing projects automatically. If you wish to do so, go to the Play menu and choose Playback Template. Here, you'll see the new Auto option, though you can choose to see all of the individual factory defaults as before if you wish. For the full list of what's new, please refer to the version history document that can be found in the Steinberg Download Assistant alongside the 6.1 installer. I hope you enjoy these improvements. Do let us know in the comments below. And please give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. And subscribe to the Dorico channel to stay up to date with everything we're up to. Okay, you can go and watch that video about Etude elements now. I'm Anthony Hughes. Thanks for watching.